Okay, I've got the Z-bed put in place. You can kind of see the end here. I've got it all the way up to where I believe the top should be. It's making contact with, well, it's almost making contact with the top bushings. And so when I put these together, I put the loop belt, this is the 3-foot continuous loop belt, I put it all in place with all of the toothed gears, put it through the tensioners. So on the tensioners here, sorry if I mess around here. So the tensioners here, you can see they're depressed inside. So we've got tension. In fact, watch this. It definitely makes a tone. The longer belt here. So it makes a tone. So you definitely want to use a small piece of extrusion that's smaller than this bracket because the belts come awful damn close. My belts, I can show you down here. Look how much clearance we've got for the belts. Yeah, there, between here. So you don't get a lot of clearance, and if you don't put the overall wheel here, if you try to move it out to give yourself a wider angle, this guy here comes down, this whole bracket comes down and smashes him, just pow, and it'll crush this bearing and everything. So you don't want to do that. You want to keep it on the inside of this guy, and I use the, I use the spacing that were in the drawings. So I've got 70 millimeters from the edge to the edge of this brace, and then 300 in between each one of these, leaving just about 40 at the end. So yeah, doing that, you don't get a lot of room here. I measured this pillow block down here at the base to the edge and put it in its place. Put that one to match roughly. It's not super critical that they're perfect. And then these here, once everything was threaded, they pretty much went what it took to compress these springs. And that was the easiest way to compress the springs, is to get everything all mounted up. And then on this last one over here, because I could reach in with my right hand and pull it that way, I used it to tension the springs. That was the easiest way to go. Then, once you've got all that tension at the bottom, the next easiest thing to do was keep all of the tops loose. Loosen up every one of the tops, just so that they were able to slide. And then, when you mount the, now I've got a temporary mount, by the way. My real bolts are coming, but I wanted to get this aligned. I went ahead and screwed this in and got it lined up while the bed was all the way at the bottom as it could be. And then once that was screwed down all the way around, I could go ahead and take my hand, and if you see right there, I just got to brace myself because you can do it by hand. Oh boy, there it goes. No, we're not quite braced yet. All right, now we're braced. So now if I pull this, that's up, there, that's down. It's not real easy. I think these tensioners are just a little bit too much. And that's an awfully tight twang. I may try to use the silicone lubricant and lubricate my pillow bearings and whatnot to see if I can take some of that tension off. But I can move it by hand, but I think I might be stronger than this NEMA 23. I don't know, we'll find out. My drivers show up Tuesday, and I'll take one of the drivers and I'll manually control it and jog it back and forth and just see whether or not this whole thing's going to move. I may have to relax a little bit of tension on these on this belt. Anyway, got it all in. This comes up and down quite level. My next trick, I think my first bed is going to be, oh, I can actually show you. There, is I've got a whole bunch of this 1/4 inch steel screen, and I think I'm going to lay it down and find a way to pull it taut on this bottom rail here. So I have screws on either side, just pulling it taut across this base so that it's nice and flat. I've put it in braces before when I've wanted to sift fill dirt and make fill dirt for flower beds. I use that same screen, and it's surprisingly easy to make super flat with a little bit of tension. So yeah, that'll be the next thing I try. I don't know. We'll see. I kind of like the idea of just being able to rest something down in there on these beams. Oh, something else I learned. So when you cut these beams, where is the camera on my phone? There it is. All right, so when you cut these beams, I cut them exactly the way they're supposed to be, and yes, I forget the exact measurement right now, but make sure you'll save yourself a lot of time if you make sure this is flush with the edge. Okay, don't make it flush with these mounts. These mounts sit just a little bit inside, and if you do that on both sides, it doesn't fit, and you wind up with just the nastiest tension trying to set this bed in there. So if you make it flush with the outside of the 2x40, it fits perfect. And that's, of course, assuming that you've made all the other dimensions spot on, or if you've ordered everything from Asumi and it was already cut for you to length, and you put it together the way the directions say, that's going to fit those little plastic blocks, threaded blocks, perfectly. There'll be no tension. They'll just slide right together. So you'll, when you push something in that's got any width to it, and you push it in an angle, it doesn't quite fit. So it kind of has to drop down straight to fit right between those pillow blocks, but it'll do it.